YouTube? Back with another banger. This gonna be my slogan for the beginning every time I start a video. I got to speak some facts here. The topic of the video that I will be discussing today is that there's nothing wrong with being nice. And let me explain why. When a woman typically say you're a nice guy, right? They saying, oh, you too nice, and you're basically a weak man, too easy to figure out. Um, you don't have enough swag. Basically you're a lame dude. You do everything for her that she wants. She wants some chaos. She wants a guy that's mysterious. All of this BS. There's a thing. There's nothing wrong with being nice. What's wrong is being a pushover. There's a difference. There's a difference between being nice and being a pushover. One thing I am is not a pushover. I'm not gonna let no bitch walk all over me. I'm not gonna let her, treat me any type of way. If she disrespects me, I'm letting her know that, yo, don't talk to me like that. You're not gonna disrespect me. I stand my ground. If a woman walks out of line and she treats me any type of way, she gonna know that she ain't gonna talk to me that type of way, because I'm a man. I respect myself and I know my worth, and a woman is not going to try that shit. So there's a difference between nice and being a pushover. It's nothing wrong with being nice. You know what I mean? If you're just a genuinely nice guy and you have respect for what you treat people with respect and dignity, you have some type of dignity, and you're not gonna go out, you're not out here cheating or stealing and doing all type of illegal shit. You're not out here committing any crimes. You just have a man of you're just a man of integrity. Nothing wrong with that, because you have character. And what these modern women don't like is they don't like a good man with character. What they want is a man that will, slap them up there upside their head, beat on their ass, treat them like shit, and just do them wrong. Those are the type of men they desire. They desire toxic men. But if you're a guy that just have certain qualities that you value, and you have certain ethics and morals that you follow, you're not gonna try to change that, because that's who you are as a man. So society, women like to shame nice guys, like guys who have good qualities, to make them feel like, oh, something is wrong with them. They gotta change their persona to attract them, because they want you to turn into a toxic man. That's why they always say you're such a nice guy. They use that as a shaming language to make you feel guilty of being a nice guy. But there's nothing wrong with being a nice guy. There's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with you being a pushover? What's wrong with is you allowing a woman to talk to you any type of way? For a woman to place you in the friend zone when you know your intentions is not to be friends with her, and then you're still on the phone with her, talking to her for hours, and you're being comfortable with her, just talking to her, talking to you about her problems and what type of guys that she dealing with, and that's the type of disrespect that you shouldn't tolerate. You got to speak up for yourself as a man. There's a difference between being nice and being a pushover, and people get those two meanings misconstrued, and they like to associate the two meanings with each other, and it's not the same. You could be a nice guy. You could be someone who just carry yourself a certain way. You just have integrity. You're not out here behaving like a lunatic. You're not out here doing anything that is out of order. You have your house in order. You got your shit figured out. You're out here working hard, trying to better yourself. You have a full-time job. You're trying to do whatever you can to make ends meet. And you just being a regular dude, that someone who's just an upstanding citizen in the society. Not a lot of people are willing to just do the right thing. People are willing to just do a lot of evil shit just to make it through. And if you're a guy that don't fall in line with what the stereotype is, especially when they look at us as a black man, they see nothing. They see us nothing as thugs and people who are just a form of entertainment. But if you stand outside of the norm, they try to shame you to make you feel like something is wrong with you. And these black women, especially these black women, they're not attracted to, or they're not drawn in, they don't gravitate towards good men. What they like is guys that are toxic. So what they would do is try to shame good men for being nice, saying that you're too nice, you're lame, you're square, you don't got a rough edge to you. So they want you to be out there committing crime, out here, beating their ass up, cheating on them, doing all type of fucked up shit. And that's what they say is interesting. That's what they call interesting. Like, no, I'm not gonna change myself to please you. If you don't accept me for who I am, then cut, beat Bush. Like cut loss. I'm gonna cut loss with her. And like, get the fuck out of my face. I'm not gonna try to cater towards you. You got to cater towards me because I'm the man. So that's what I'm saying. There's a difference between being nice and being a pushover. If you're a nice guy, don't feel bad of being a nice guy. Like if you're the type of person that like to treat people fairly, and as long as somebody respect you, you reciprocate those same feelings. It's like it's a mutual thing. If you meet people and you come across people that treat you well, you treat them well, nothing wrong with that. I don't like how twisted society is. Like they like to make you, it's like good is evil and evil is good. So the more out of order and the more disorderly you act, the more you act just insane. Women like guys that are mentally unstable. They like guys that are agent like because women are agents of chaos. So when you talk, because I'm speaking from experience, when you're dealing with a woman that have a past history of dealing with a lot of toxic men, and she come across a guy like you, and you talk to her differently, you approach her differently, she's not used to it. So all of a sudden she have her guard up, and then she start playing hard to get, and she start putting up walls and barriers, and then she just create drama out of nowhere to stir up some type of argument. And it's like these women, they love the drama, they love the chaos, man. They're agents of chaos. And one thing I noticed is that these women, they'll do a shit test to you to see, if you are some type of pushover. And that's one thing I noticed is like, I could be a nice guy, but I'm not a pushover. If a woman is doing certain things that I find to be disrespectful, I'm gonna call her out on it. For instance, if I'm with a woman and I'm talking to her, I expect her to give her undivided attention to me. If she's texting if she's on the phone texting, I'm gonna let her know like you can't do that when you're around me. That's disrespectful. I call her out on her bullshit. That's the difference between being nice and being a pushover. It's like being pushover is like you let a woman get away with just being disrespectful. You don't stand on your own 2 feet. You don't put your foot in the ground when she do something disrespectful. You don't call her out on it. And a lot of these simp niggas are pushovers. But if you're a good quality man like I am, I'm not gonna change who I am just to please other people. If I'm a nice, that's like I'm a nice guy. I'm a good person at heart. I'm gonna treat people the way they deserve to be treated. I'm not gonna go out my way trying to please others. I'm not going to act a certain way or put on this fake act just to be liked by others. It's like if you don't accept me for who I am, then I don't need to waste my time with you. That's just the way I approach life. That's the way I see it. There's nothing wrong with being nice, man. Society like to shame guys for being nice, especially good men. So it's like being good is seen as something negative. I don't understand how twisted society is. It's like, oh, if you're a nice guy, something is wrong with you. It's seen as a sign of weakness, but it's like no, there's nothing wrong with being a nice person. You could be a nice person and carry yourself with dignity and pride, but you don't necessarily have to be a pushover. Those are two different things, but society likes to put them together in the same bracket under the same umbrella. It's like no, just because you're a nice guy doesn't mean you're a pushover. There's two different things. If a guy come up to you trying to disrespect you, you're gonna put that nigga in his place. You're not gonna let nobody come up to you and treat any type of way because you have a man dignity. You have dignity. You have pride. So that's the thing. I don't understand. It's like when you're being nice, it's like it's looked down on something bad. It's like, what's wrong with being a nice person? What's wrong with treating people with fairness? What's wrong with treating people with dignity? What's wrong with, treating people the way you would like to be treated? Talking with people with respect, showing people that you appreciate them for who they are. It's like being a nice person is looked down on. It's something to be abhorred. It's something to be afraid of. And I'm like, why is it seen as something negative? So if I am doing out here doing evil shit like selling drugs, robbing and stealing from my own community, and that's considered good. So now all of a sudden these women are gravitating towards me because I'm participating in a lot of evil shit. And it just tells you how messed up people are, how twisted society is. Like I said, being good is something is look at something as evil, and being evil is look at something that's good. It's like the two conflict with each other. It's like, how can you be looked as being something evil? Because women will shame you, say you're such a nice guy. When a woman typically say you're a nice guy, she's like, oh, I'm just gonna place you in the friend zone. I'm not gonna really go further than that. You're just typically just a typical nice guy. It's like, why? Why we gotta be shamed to being nice guys? It's like we just know how to carry ourselves. We have stature. We're a man of stature. We're a man of dignity. We're a man that have certain standards that we follow. We're not out here committing crime. We're not out here being another Pookie and Ray Ray. We're not another statistics. We're breaking free from that social norm because society like to create a negative stereotype towards us as black men. So it's like, if you're not doing those things that they perceive you as, then all of a sudden something is wrong with you. It's like these women, especially these black women, they don't like this these type of men like me, like who have certain standards that we follow because they see us as weak. And I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm definitely not a weak man. I'm not a pushover. Like, there's a difference between being a nice guy and being a pushover. You could have standards. You could, being a nice person, and you could still make your point clear to people. Like, you could speak on what you believe and stand firm in what you believe in your truth, right? And it's nothing wrong with you being a nice at the same time, because being a man of character is like very rare. Not often do you come across people that have good morals, that have character, that know how to carry themselves a certain way, because people like to act ignorant. People like to act like they don't have any type of integrity. So this is what is encouraged in society nowadays, and women like guys who are toxic. So that's what they will do, is shame good men into being toxic. They'll tell you, "Oh, you're too nice. I like you just as a friend," and this and that. It's like they like to make you feel guilty for being a nice guy. And I'm like, no, nothing is wrong with being a nice guy. It's a difference between, like I said, being a nice guy and being a pushover, letting a woman have her way. Like, for instance, if you just talking to a woman and you want to let your intentions clear that, yo, I'm not interested in just being friends. I want to move beyond that. And she just constantly just talk to you and just keeping you in that type of like circle, like friend zone, and you keep running around in circles with her. You gotta let her know, like, this has got to stop. Like, I'm not gonna continue on with this because you don't understand where I stand, and you as a man gotta let a woman know where you stand, what your boundaries are, and you gotta stand firm in what you believe in. And you can't let somebody walk all over you and be um, disrespectful towards you as a man. Those are two different things, and I don't get why people keep tying them together. They're not the same. You could still be a good guy and still have boundaries and have certain status, certain limits that you like people cannot cross. And that's the thing I see. It's like nothing is wrong with being a nice guy. It's like you could still make things work. Like, I don't get how, like I said, in a society that we live in is so twisted. It's so everything is so out of order. It's like they like to shame good men for being good, and it's looked on as something negative. So women would like to shame you for being a nice guy. It's like it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, why do I gotta change who I am to be liked by you? I gotta act like a thug. I gotta put on this fake persona, be someone who out here, doing a lot of evil shit. And then the crazy thing about it is that when they end up dealing with those type of men, and those men end up abusing them and treating them wrong, then they come, saying they come out of nowhere talking about how men ain't shit. All they do is abuse women. All they do is treat women like crap, and they like to put us all in the same category. I'm like, the fact remains, you never wanted to deal with a good guy. You didn't want to deal with a good guy. You wanted to deal with the toxic man. So it's like now all of a sudden you telling me when I'm nice or when I'm treating you well, I'm too nice. But then when you deal with the toxic man and he treats you like like shit, you want to talk about all men ain't shit, men ain't shit, they ain't good. All they do is take advantage of women and all this bullshit. So it's like damn if you do, damn if you don't. That's why I'm like you should just stay true to yourself. You shouldn't change who you are to be liked by others. It's like nothing is wrong with being nice. It's a difference between being nice and being a pushover. I'm not the type of person that's gonna allow a woman to walk all over me. If she doesn't respect me as a man, I'm cutting her off. I'm not gonna waste my time trying to please her or trying to let her be on her good side. Like I'm a man at the end of the day. I follow certain principles, certain things that I followed and I believe in. I stay true to it. So like a woman's not gonna walk all over me. Period. There's a difference. You know what I'm saying? You could go out here take care of your business and not be a pushover. That's a fact. There's a difference between being nice and being a pushover. And at the end of the day, you gotta stay true to yourself. I don't know why people always trying to find they're trying to change who they are to be liked by others. It's like, oh man, I gotta start acting more like a thug for a woman to like me. Like if a woman don't like you for who you are to begin with, she was never the one for you at the end of the day. Because if you gotta put on this like macho personality, you gotta act like a thug, you gotta act like a bad boy, all that stuff. Then that means that woman don't accept you for who you are. Like she only like you for the image and the type of person you could present yourself as. So it's like, nah, you gotta stand true to who you are. You gotta stand true in what you believe in. You can't let people walk all over you. And that's the difference. I don't like when people like to put them together, and especially women. They you see how as a good guy they claim they like to shame you, so they tell you you're too nice. They'll use shaming language for you, but when they come around Pookie and Ray Ray, they don't like to tell them, oh, you need to change your ways. In fact, they're intrigued by those type of men. They find those men to be attractive, so they will give the pussy up for those type of men for free. But when they come across a good quality man, all of a sudden, you gotta wait a certain amount of time. All of a sudden, they expect a lot from you, and then they have all these standards for you as a good man, and then they a lot of times put you in the friend zone because you're a nice guy. It's like fuck that shit, man. There's nothing wrong with being a nice guy. At the end of the day, it's the difference between being nice and being a pushover. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? You know, I have a life to live. I'm not out here just doing nothing. I'm always doing something every day. I'm always trying to stay busy. But being true to yourself is what really matters, man. You should never change yourself to be liked by others, man. Ever. You should never act a certain way, talk a certain way, behave a certain way, just so that people could be your friend. Like if you gotta change yourself to be liked by others, that means you're never true. You never don't love yourself. You never don't. A lot of people are putting on an act. They have a mask on, and they're with a woman that don't really appreciate them for who they are. They're just doing it just to be a part of a group. So I am never going to be the type of person that will myself to be liked by others. I will always stand true to who I am. Stay true to who I am. And that's just the fact. Being nice is not wrong, man. There's nothing wrong with being a nice guy, yo. And just me saying the word nice, being a nice guy has a negative connotation. How is that some word? How that word nice has something negative to it? And it's like we became a condition. We have been we have been indoctrinated to be conditioned to accept that as being negative. Like, oh, you're a nice guy. Oh man, you're weak. Something's wrong with you. Let woman walk. No, it's a difference between being a nice guy and being a pushover. Those are two different things, man. But people like to put together them under the same category. It doesn't make any sense. But that's just the way I see it. I'm gonna stay true to what I believe. No one's gonna change that about me. Anyways, I'm gonna end this video. Hope you enjoyed. Take care and have a good one. Bye for now.